Hello guys, Jammie just out on a mission over to Leicester. A couple of weeks back I borrowed my mate's bike. Mine was off the road because of crash bobbing, so I borrowed my mate's bike. His 2004 Ninja ZX6RR. So there's like only a limited number of them made. So anyway, it goes out for a ride, beautiful weather. I've actually got some of the footage from the ride, but I'd set the camera on my Drift Ghost up to just try out the different settings. So I put it to, I think 720 or 9, something with 25 frames per second. So the footage is like proper jerky. I don't know why. I put a bit up just so you can see whether I'm doing something wrong. But anyway, went out Daventry side, had a beautiful day, beautiful ride out, seen about 100 bikes, and I was just on my way back to towards where I'm from, which is Coventry side, well, where I live at the minute. So anyway, going along, my battery dies on my phone, so my sat nav goes. I was lost in the countryside, pitch black, and I knew I was heading towards Daventry somewhere, but I just didn't have a clue. Anyway, following a fairly newish Mercedes and another little car in front of that, and everything doing like 55 in the 60 limit, you know, casually going along. And come round like it wasn't a sharp bend, but it was a gradual bend, and I couldn't see round it because of the bushes were so high. So I've slowed down. I was doing about 45 at that point, and as I've literally come around the bend and it opened up for me to see, I was greeted by the back end of the Mercedes skidding, and the car in front of that just turning right like here into that farm entrance with no notice whatsoever. And I've obviously come around the corner and seen it stationary, so I've slammed on the brakes, the back end's locked up, so I've released it, reapplied it. Looks like someone's locked up here as well. Okay, now that was a long skid, that is, isn't it? Up to the curb, along the curve, stopped. Mighty blowout, mate. Anyway, gone to a stop, but with me stopping so quickly, the weight just all went to the front end, and I just couldn't physically hold the bike up. So it's chucked me off, and I've managed to hold on with my left hand, still gripping the handlebar, and I've just tried to like hold the bike up the best I can, and you know, the weight of it, you know, I'm not a big guy. I'm, you know, 11.5 stone, and the bike's, you know, 200 kilos or whatever it is, you know, whatever it is. But anyway, 200, I don't know, I'm shit with weights. But anyway, the bike's heavy. Well, it ain't when you're riding it, but to try and hold it up with one hand while you're on the floor, you're not doing it. So the bike goes down, and the car that caused it fucks off down this country lane. I'm looking back to see where he's gone as I'm picking myself up, and his lights are just gone in the distance. So he knew what he'd done and just quickly got out of there. The Mercedes stopped, and there was a bike car literally two or three behind me. So he's come round, pulled up, helped me. The guy in the Mercedes is stopped, and he's like, "Sorry, mate, you know, the car just stopped middle of nowhere, and it just took me off guard. He didn't indicate nothing." So, and he was a young lad, you know, stereotyping, but more than likely borrowing his dad's car. So I didn't hit his car. I managed to stop like about a foot short of his car, but in the process the bike's gone down. So anyway, it's pitch black. We got my battery had died, so the biker who'd stopped gets his phone out with a torch. We're looking at the, you know, see damage, and all I could see with the torch was a few scratches along the right hand side belly pan, from obviously where it's gone down, and the bar end scuffed, and the end of the lever snapped off. So it started, everything fine, sounded fine and the lot. So I thought, well, I've, you know, got to continue. I was insured, but only insured, I'm fully comp on my bike, but it only allows me to ride other person's bikes third party. So, and breakdown the same, I can only have breakdown on my own bike. So I thought, I've got no choice, I've got to ride back. So anyway, the bike was fine, road fine, everything was fine. It weren't major, it just literally fell over. So I ride him back, gets onto the slip road for the M42, and I've got earplugs in. I always ride with earplugs because I just can't stand the wind noise. But all of a sudden, I just heard this almighty fucking exhaust noise. You know, like the manifold had come away or something. It was just really loud exhaust. So anyway, I couldn't pull up straight away because I'm on the motorway. I knew there was the services about half a mile up the road, so I pulled into that services, and I've looked in the mirror. This car's followed me in there, like fairly close. And as I've got, pulled up to get off the bike, he's pulled alongside me, and I didn't even have a chance to look at the bike. But he was like, "You lost something, mate?" I said, "Well, yeah, I don't know if I've lost something, but I can hear an almighty exhaust noise." He says, "Well, it might have something to do with your exhaust coming off." He says, "It's back down there, it come off and nearly smashed into my car." And hang on, my phone's ringing. Hello? Yeah, alright then. I'll speak to you in a bit. See ya, bye. Anyway, you guys, sorry about that phone conversation. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so anyway, it's like your exhaust has come off. It's literally spun round and bounced off the road and come up in the air at me at the car. He says, "Look at it, I swerved out of the way." And I'm thinking at this point, oh my fucking god, if the ground could just open up and swallow me, I'd have been happy with it, because it was just one thing after another. So anyway, I finally gets home, and obviously I have to ring my friend up and break the bad news to him, which enough respect for the lad. He obviously was peed off about the bike, but he was more concerned, I wouldn't say more concerned, but really concerned about me and making sure I was alright, which made me feel a bit better, because I felt so guilty for it, because I thought, my god, if I'd lent my bike to someone and got it back damaged, I'd been mortified. But anyway, he knows I'm a man of my word, and I told him, look, as much as I can't claim through the insurance, I will get it sorted, and we have done. I've actually got his brake levers in this little bag here, and what else have we done? I had an exhaust that come with my R6, so I gave him that exhaust, carbon effect look one, so and he's I haven't heard it on yet, but he has done, and he said it sounds absolutely amazing. So I'm on my way over there now, obviously, to drop his levers off. I think I've gone the wrong way. I think I have, I've gone the way for the motorway. So yeah, I'm putting the problem right. So he's quite happy with it, that it's getting sorted. And when he saw it, he said it, because when I rang him up, he says it sounded in your voice like you'd wrote my bike off. He says, and then when he come over a few days later and he actually looked at it, he says it weren't as bad as how I'd made it sound, but I just felt fucking absolutely shitty that I'd done it. But yeah, so all in all, not a good time that were. But and I really appreciate the fact that he lent me his bike, and supported me that way. But from now on, I am not borrowing anyone's bike or car again. Well, not for a long while anyway. I feel too on edge with it. And funny enough, the night that he said I could borrow it, we was on the way over to the gym, and I was pillying on the back of his bike, and he says, well look, because obviously mine was off the road because the crash bobbin had fell off and the engine mount had gone with it, so I was waiting for a new one to come, and he says, look, if you want to borrow it, blah blah blah. So I was like, yeah, we'll see anyway, because he didn't want the hassle of finishing gym and then having to drop me back. So I says, oh, we'll see anyway. And then I was on headpiece with my other friend Kyle, and I said to him, I says, I might borrow it, but I just feel proper like on edge, done it, Kyle, that if I damage it, blah blah blah. I says, it's, you know, not going to be good. So, and you know, I'll probably fucking jinx myself, to be fair. Yeah, that's my story about borrowing the ZX6RR, and then I find out afterwards that there's not that many made of them, so it's the 600cc rather than the 636. So, you know, if I had wrote it off, you know, I'd have had a nightmare trying to replace it. But anyway guys, I don't know if you can hear me still now, so I'm going to put it at that. Check out my channel. If you like it, then subscribe. There's a trailer there showing you a bit about, you know, what's to come for summer once the weather starts perking up. You know, like my videos and share them if you like them, you know, genuinely like them. You know, I only want to know if people genuinely like my videos, because if you don't, I won't upload that type of video. You know, I'll change the subject or, you know, do something. And if there's anything you guys want to see, or, you know, you want me to do a video of, then just let me know in the comments below, and, you know, I'll make that, you know, do my best to make that happen. So anyway guys, I'll leave you at that. Peace.